Warning, the following podcast contains explicit content. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, so welcome to this week's podcast. A whole pile of stories coming up soon with the words allegedly in the title. And also we're going to talk about, the sad news that's happened this week.
All that and more, here on Gareth's Random Ramblings.
Hello and welcome to this week's podcast of Gareth's Random Ramblings. I'm Gareth. Funnily enough, thank you so very much for listening to this and downloading it. It does mean a huge amount to me, so thank you so very, very, very much. Also, too, something that means a lot is, celebrities. We'll talk about that later. I was trying to think of a lovely segue into how I was going to talk about Robin Williams' death, but we'll talk about that later because I want to get these weird stories out of the way, which, funnily enough, all have the word allegedly in the title, and then we can talk more about the sad stuff. So let's get the funny stuff out of the way first, and then we can do that. So here we go.
Normal people would call them headlines, but Gareth's not normal. It's time for The Wrinkles.
So, a teacher was arrested after allegedly, you're going to be hearing that word quite a lot, allegedly showing up to work drunk and not wearing any pants on the first day of class. That's right, she was an Oklahoma school teacher. She's starting the school year behind bars, not the bars she's probably hoping to be stuck behind, but anyway, we're talking about police here. She was taken to jail after she was allegedly showed up to work drunk in Oklahoma. Now, her classroom kind of caught on that she was not exactly sober when she walked in without wearing pants and, slurring, disorientated, and falling over all the time. Funny thing was, too, was that when the students finally told someone, they left her alone and, they came to her room to try and figure out where she wasn't there. They found this lovely lady in an empty classroom trying to teach the empty class. I know. Just think about that. Opening up the door, seeing someone with no pants on, totally pissed, in front of a room of no one, going, so if you add the 2 with the 5, you get a number bigger than both of them. Billy, shut up. You're being annoying right now. Shut up. Yes. And if you're thinking as well, there was a couple of teachers growing up that I thought was quite attractive. And the whole, Mrs. Robinson / Stifler's mum thing was going to happen. I wouldn't have minded. But this lady here, how can I... There's a photo of her. I'll put a photo of her on the website at GarethJamesThomas.com. She kind of looks like if Jabba the Hutt kind of had a sex change. All right, so have a look on the website and go from there. Speaking about going to different places, I've used Siri quite a lot of my time. I have iPhones, iPads, recording this on a MacBook Pro through my brand new microphone. I use Siri quite a lot to try and figure out where shit is, how to get there, how much is this going to cost me. And, jokingly asked it for some jokes. This guy here literally asked Siri, where to hide a body. That's right, this man has been accused of allegedly killing a fellow student at Florida and asking him to hide my roommate. He's got a bit of a crime record, this guy, but he also had an argument over an ex-girlfriend who his friend was dating or something like this anyway. So he smacked him, allegedly, killed him, and then used the Siri to figure out where would be a good place to kind of hide the body. Siri responded with the fantastic answer of, not, I'm going to call the cops to make sure you're joking or whatever. The question Siri asked was, what kind of places are you looking for? They found the body, and we're also going to probably get this guy in a bit of trouble. But as I said, you can ask Siri for quite a lot of things. You can try and find your friends. Let's try this right now. Yeah, you can find where your friends are, and you can also figure out how much stock you have. Figure out what the currency conversion is. Figuring out where you can find a brand new Lego Simpsons house, which I've already used it for. But you can also use it to hide dead bodies. Fantastic. Siri, where are my friends?
Sorry, Gareth, you don't have anyone in your Find My Friends list.
That's so mean. I think I just got burned by Siri. Thanks, Siri, you stuck-up bitch. Next story for today. Allegedly, there's been a Saudi Arabian man who has died in one of the most weirdest ways ever. A bizarre story where a man was trying to have sex with a donkey. Now, allegedly, according to police and all that stuff who first arrived and showed up and all that kind of stuff, they said that a man had tied a donkey to his car, had taken his pants off, and had attempted to have sex with the animal. The donkey, though, however, did not want any part of this, was not going to be butt raped, thank you very much. And allegedly, I love that word, it proceeded to kick the guy in the face, followed by 3 strong kicks to the chest. The man fell to the ground and suffered for some time before dying next to the angry animal. Now, when the police arrived, they reportedly discovered the man's body and were able to determine what had happened. So it seems like he was trying to stick his dick in the ass and he ended up getting fucked anyway. And the last story for today, because we are talking a little bit longer, so hey, we'll make this one nice, short and sweet. A guy has been arrested for allegedly assaulting his best friend. Now, why would he be upset about that? Not because he asked Siri on his podcast to find his friends and then find out that he doesn't have any. Thanks, Siri, you fucking stuck up. But because he wasn't invited over to his friend's house to eat cheesesteaks. And he ended up going over there, dragging one of his buddies down a flight of steps, and then kicking the guy in the face. Just for not being invited out to eat cheesesteaks. Now, from what I've heard, these cheesesteaks are very tasty. But then again, I'm not going to go kick some guy in the face for a big whopper, okay? Honestly. Just fucking don't worry about it. Do what I did during high school and have no friends and be sad and be rejected by everyone and then end up being a real smartass and then end up doing podcasts for 7 people. I do love you all, 7 people. I love you immensely. Thank you very much for listening to this. You are amazingly wonderful and I love you so much.
And now for something completely serious.
On side note, sad news, as we all know, Robin Williams passed away by suicide. I'm not going to get into the big details as that guy did. The police commissioner, did you see that? Fully detailed how he died, but I'm not going to do that. Really sad news, obviously. And I've seen a lot of videos where the people have started crying, and I'm going to try not to because, it has been like a couple of days or 3 days since the news happened that I found out, so, But it's still really sad. He was one of the guys that I you know how I normally will joke a lot quickly, talk a lot fast, and have the whole, conscious stream of things going on. My friends will tell you that that's true, even if they don't show up on my phone. But, he was the kind of guy that I would base comedy on. I was like, right, people keep telling me to slow down, talk slower, no one can understand you. But everyone understood Robin Williams really well. So that's why I really struck by the news the other day. I was at work and I found out and I honestly wanted to go home. I was like, no, I can't. I'm going to go home now. I don't really want to be here right now. Only because of that reason. I kind of did the same thing when, Paul Holmes passed away. Think what you want about the man, but I met him a couple of times. It was really cool, but he got me into on-air kind of stuff. And there's a couple of people as well that, you get really excited about. When I interviewed Nancy Cartwright, I love that because Nancy Cartwright was voiced by Bart Simpson, who I grew up with watching over the things. And also interviewing a guy from New Zealand called Jason Gunn, who was on TV for ages. And I grew up with him and I got so excited, so happy. So if anything happened to those people, I'd be really, really sad. But also with Robin Williams, obviously the way that he died with depression. I know a few people that are depressed at the moment. On pills and all that kind of stuff. I probably I'm a little bit considering the last things that happened in the last bloody 3 or 4 years of my life. But you know what? It sucks and everything else like that we live in a society nowadays where if you're not feeling 100% fine, you don't have the ability and opportunity to actually talk to people and help that shit out. Like, honestly, I've had so many people come to me with their problems and I've tried to help them out as much as I can. It's great. I love feeling that way. But to go to someone else, I can kind of see, I don't want to bombard people with my sad shit. You kind of want to be that funny guy. You want to be the guy that everyone comes to and goes, hey, let's have some fun. Hey, cool, no worries. Without telling people, hey, you know what? I actually really want to kill myself right now. I'm having a really shitty time. Can you help me out? And I don't understand why we don't do that. Why is this a society we can't go to people and say, hey, look, I need help. Granted, when I'm in a car, don't give me Siri, don't give me the GPS. I will find a way myself because I want to do it. I want to prove to myself that I can do this. But there are some things, getting lost on a highway. Wow, you spend $20 getting more petrol. Who gives a shit? If you get, if you lose your way in life and you want to kill yourself, well, it's a little bit more expensive and a little bit more worse than just, having to turn back and use another exit and come back. So if you're out there listening to this, if you do suffer from it, obviously hit up your local people. I'm in Australia right now, so I don't know the numbers of the Australian people. But in New Zealand, give Youthline a call. Anyone, just talk to someone. Shit. I have my website. Go to that. If you need us to email someone, email me. Shit, I'll help you out if I can, We all should be in a position where we can be able to ask people for help instead of trying to bottle it in and all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm not saying that's obviously what happened to Robin, because I'm sure he probably had a few people that he could go talk to. But I'm just saying, to get into that place, it sucks, because I know I was in there about 4 years ago. Still probably not 100% out of it at the moment, but I am on the way up, so yay, cool, that's lovely. But, yeah, we need to be nice and love one another, really, as opposed to going over and blowing up people's houses and killing kids. Or smacking people in faces for not inviting them to come out to cheesesteaks. Good on you, buddy. Anyway, that's it. I think I've rambled on long enough for today. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. You will be missed immensely. My favourite line ever from a Robin Williams movie: fuck Aladdin, fuck Good Will Hunting, all that kind of shit. They're not my favourite lines. My favourite line is in Mrs. Doubtfire, when he throws a piece of fruit at Pierce Brosnan. And he goes, sorry, I couldn't see what was happening. It was a run by fruiting. Worst Scottish accent ever, but that was my favourite line. Run by fruiting. That was amazingly funny. All right, well, that's it for today. I've rambled on for long enough today. Next week's episode will be nice and short. Next week's episode, the next episode, because who knows? I got busy last week with setting up my partner's company, sorting out my microphone, which I still haven't fully done yet. So if you want any feedback on the mic, please tell me. It'd be amazing. GarethJamesThomas.com, and we can go from there. Once again, thanks very much for listening to this really long podcast, and have a great week.